We are so lucky to have Mary Regan of Regan Organic Farm delivering to us at Kilmokea.
It's an absolute pleasure to have Mary Regan of Regan Organic Farm sitting with me this morning. And I met Mary, I would say about 8 or 9 years ago. And what really inspired me about her was her passion and energy that she has for her business. So, Mary, would you like to tell us a little bit about what you do?
Okay, thanks, Emma. Well, I'm a farmer, a food producer. I have a small family farm near Enniscorthy. I suppose the background was my father farmed conventionally. I always had an interest in the farm from a very young age. I was passionate about livestock, growing stuff. I was always on my father's tail, running around the place. And so I suppose when it came to doing my leaving cert, if I'd had a position, if I was in a position to come home to farm full time, I would have loved to have had that opportunity. But the farm had put three of us through college. There wouldn't have been enough income to support me there as well with my parents. So I did agricultural science and I did a master's in food engineering technology. And I got a job working off the farm then for a number of years. And I suppose how I started then into the organics was the first one of the jobs I had was to in a feed mill to develop the organic side of the business. So it was the first time I was exposed to anything organic, and I liked what I saw. I looked at my own farm then and said, well, what can I do here? I knew I couldn't farm and get a living conventionally. Doing what we were doing at home would have been cereal and beet and cattle and sheep. So I looked at chickens because I suppose they were at the time, well, they were being done very badly. And, it was going to be a niche market. But it coincided with the farmers markets in Enniscorthy, and it was a great opportunity great platform to showcase our birds in there. So I started producing organic chickens in 2004 and went into the farmers market with them, and myself and my sister Helen, and we got very good feedback there. People saying, these chickens tasted like chickens used to taste like. So that gave us great confidence to know the product we had was good. And we were fortunate enough, I suppose, that word of mouth was a great start as well. And so the business developed, and we sold into a number of outlets throughout Dublin, throughout the country, really, into good restaurants, independent food stores, butcher shops. So that was the chicken side of it. And I suppose the hurdle we were faced with was in 2014. We were bringing the chickens to a place in Tipperary, and the processing facility closed down. So it was kind of a big crossroads to know what to do, whether to give up. But we'd established a business at that stage, and decided that to keep going, I needed to put up my own processing plant. Reluctantly, I did, because of the investment, and there wasn't too many blueprints of small processing plants around the country, so it was very much my own design. So 2015, we opened our own plant, and looking back now, it was a very good decision because it meant that we were in full control over all our production. Welfare of the animals was definitely much improved. There was no handling and loading and carting chickens down to Tipperary. It was a very simple operation now, from birds being taken directly from the field into the processing plant in the space of half an hour. So that's where I am today now with the chickens, and suppose we have kind of diversified since then into other enterprises. I suppose the saying that don't keep all your eggs in the one basket, with the threat of avian flu and various different threats to the industry. I got an opportunity just pre-COVID to buy a vegetable round. It was a man who was retiring, who had a mobile organic vegetable shop, and he used to sell the chickens actually from me. That's how I knew him. So I invested in that, and because I always had a passion for growing as well. So I took over the van. So I mostly do the van. I do various different stops around the county. various different locations and into Waterford and Carlow and Kilkenny. So now I kind of grow about 1.5 acres of organic vegetables. We have about 3 or 4 tunnels, and last year we put up our own propagation tunnel. And so we sell directly through the van, we sell online, and we sell through our farm shop, Regan's Full and Plenty in New Ross. I also buy from local organic producers. They'd have vegetables, some vegetables different from what I'd be growing, or vegetables at different times. And I'd import some, it's all organic, but I'd import as well just to have a range of stock on the van.
And that's really how I met you, isn't it, Mary?
Yeah, that's
because
right, Emma,
when you were taking over the that business from David Ward, who had been delivering to us for a number of years.
That's right.
And it's just a fantastic opportunity for us in the county to be able to purchase organic food where we know where it's coming from. It's all very bona fide, and it's a local business. So I think it was 3 years ago that you took over from David Ward, and I know that he is still helping you on the farm, isn't he?
That's right. Yeah, it was brilliant because David was a very very established grower. He had a lot of knowledge. Even though I had grown vegetables from the time I was very young, it was kind of done just on a very small scale, a small tunnel, just grown for ourselves. So there was a good bit of learning involved in growing commercial, and David was very helpful in guiding us. My sister Ger, then she got involved in the growing as well, and we grow a range of stuff now. We've strawberries coming on nicely. We've leeks. We've lots of stuff to go into the ground now. I suppose the weather has been a bit challenging. We're a bit behind time, but we'll get there all right. We'll get it in now.
And other than yourself and your sister, who do you have, or how many do you have working with you?
So there's myself. I have 2 sisters involved. Helen would be kind of on the sales side and coordinating orders and stuff, and she would help out in the processing plant. Ger and Helen helps in the shop, and a nephew helps in the shop. And then Ger does some of the shop and some of the growing, and my husband David does some of the husbandry. And then for processing, then we have about 3 locals come in to help us process the chickens and do a little bit with the vegetable growing.
It's a perfect example, isn't it, of a family business where the passion for what you do is the driving force. Tell me, what is it that really gets you up in the morning and enables you to have that passion to be as successful as you are today?
I suppose I really enjoy doing what I do because I know what I'm doing is very, very, I'm producing good quality produce that I can stand over, that I know whether it's the livestock, they've been looked after well, they've been fed well. I've done my best with them, and I enjoy working with animals. And we have a small dairy herd there now of shorthorn cows, producing milk, which I hope to add value to as well down the line. But yeah, you get great satisfaction going down, and whether it's harvesting your leeks or watching the little seeds come up to put them into the tunnels to grow, and then the really good quality produce you get, that it hasn't been interfered with any chemicals or anything that's harmful, either damaging to the soil or damaging to yourself. And that just really motivates me for producing good food.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we feel incredibly lucky to have you in County Wexford because we have developed our cafe at Kilmokea to be mainly organic. We grow using organic methods, but you have an organic cert. And for those who are purchasing organic food, it's so good to know that we have somebody like you in the county, because as you touched on before, it's the length and breadth of the country really that got to know you through your chickens.
That's right.
And would you say that but both the chickens and the vegetables now are sort of 50-50 part of your business, or
Yeah, I'd say so. I suppose the chickens are really such a niche market because of the cost. We definitely cut back on production as a result of the Ukrainian war. The cost of the organic feed just rocketed. So we cut back to do direct sales for the time being, at least. Because it takes a long time to grow a bird. You know, I mean, we have the young birds come in as day olds. They're in heated brooder houses for 4 weeks, and at the stage we're taking them out to the field conventionally, those chickens would be ready for processing in a conventional system, where for us they go to the fields for another 2 months, and then they're exposed to all sorts of elements, both weather and wildlife or whatever. So the cost of your organic chicken, I suppose, in relation to the cost of, you know, conventional chicken, then there's a substantial difference. Whereas the vegetables, there isn't that difference, you know. So I mean, a lot of the time, your organic vegetables are not going to cost you that much more, really, than your conventional vegetables. You know, maybe 15-20% more.
Yeah, it's about valuing your health, isn't it? And I would say over the last 5 or 6 years, more and more people are turning to be eating organically, and also to be producing their own food using no chemicals. Would you say that's the case, particularly with Regan Full and Plenty Farm Shop in New Ross? Would you say that you're getting more customers who are actually wanting to look after their health in that way?
Yeah, I would, Emma. Yeah, I'd say there's definitely an increase in interest in it, and people asking questions, which is great. You know, asking how are you growing this, or what's the difference between a free range chicken and an organic chicken. You know, I think there's a huge void of information there, you know, and education for people, and now they're starting to look at it. We saw a bit of it in COVID, I suppose. There was a lot of people come to the van, even though, you know, COVID was an illness. You know, there was very little on the media in relation to eating better, but people themselves sourced better food during that time, and certainly habits have improved. Some people went back to their old habits after it, but some people did improve their habits. You know, and the old saying, like from Hippocrates years ago, like let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food, is as important today as, you know, more important today. But it is about education of people, to, you know, the background to how their food is produced, because there's certainly a disconnect now between the generation, you know, and food production. And that's maybe something that I did look at before COVID. On the farm, we had a small farm shed that I converted to sort of small visitor centre, where you could kind of take people in, maybe have a cup of coffee and a scone or something, and then take them around the farm and show them. You know, it's an education. There's a lot of things to see, and, you know, people engage very well then when they see things. You know, you'd be surprised what people would ask you and what they don't know until they actually, you know, it's amazing, really. So yeah, that's something that I'd like to do more of in the future.
Yes, and it sounds that through the Regan Full and Plenty Farm Shop in New Ross, you actually have that opportunity in a different way when people come to purchase. I know not everything in the farm shop is organic, but a lot is.
Mm-hmm.
And through that outlet, you are actually enabling yourself and your sister and nephew to impart that knowledge to those who are buying.
Yeah, that's very good, because the you know, Helen and Owen and Ger that work in the shop, they're so familiar with the production system. So when people ask them, they can answer, you know, genuinely. They know what's going on, you know, they know what's coming into season, they know how something is produced. And yes, certainly there are more people coming through the door, and an interest in pay, you know, and prepared to pay for better quality food that's produced sustainably.
Mary, tell us, other than Regan's Full and Plenty in New Ross, where can people purchase your products?
Well, we do sell online. So we have our website, reganorganicfarm.ie. But the veg van, I suppose, for accessibility for a lot of people, will come actually to meeting points for the vegetable van, and that's something I will develop even further. And the beauty about the vegetable van, I suppose, is I know everything is organic, but there's nothing packaged. So somebody can hop on the van, and if they only want one carrot, they can buy one carrot or one onion or whatever, as little or as much as they want. And there's various locations that the van stops at. Some people come to the farm and actually buy from the farm as well. That can be kind of difficult when there's no structure on it, because obviously we're working and we're trying to do stuff. And we did have an honesty shop on the farm, but when we opened the farm shop in Full and Plenty, we closed that. But the honesty shop was good during COVID, because people could come, they found it a safe destination, they'd put in their orders, they'd come and pick up their box, put their money in the letterbox, and it was a simple way of doing it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And perhaps you might, that the easiest way for people to find out if they're interested to be at one of those meeting points with the van, they can contact you through your website.
Yeah, there's numbers there. There's phone numbers, my number, Helen's number,
Lovely. And the website address again is?
reganorganicfarm.ie.
Lovely, reganorganicfarm.ie. Mary, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story, which is a really important story for farming, for organic food, and to really express the passion you have for what you do. And thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you, Emma.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you too would like to eat good, fresh organic food, look up Regan Organic Farm online.